Uranus stations retrograde in Taurus on August the 19th. Hi everybody, this is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. Before I begin with this explanation of what you may be experiencing through this Uranus retrograde in Taurus, I wanted to kind of say something first, giving you a little bit of this kind of reassurance of what you could possibly be going through right now. And if you do hear the music playing in the background, I do not own the rights to this music. Let me just go ahead and hit pause or mute, because sometimes what you guys pick up is just washed out stuff in the background. It kind of sounds like water mixing or something, bubbles in the water. Anyway, I have been, for many of us, or some of us, we could be experiencing lots of those blissful states. If you are not, it's okay. Just bear with me here for a moment. And those who are not experiencing blissful states are, of course, going to be feeling kind of blah. A little bit disconnected. Maybe a little bit chaotic. Lots of disorder. Quite possibly. Followed by these high blissful moments, or the exact opposite. You can experience the exact opposite of what you are currently feeling. We have been tapping into 0 point energy. We have been tapping into the Akashic records here since the Lionsgate portal opened, especially the peak of it. And that's information. We're going into the unknown here, which although we can be feeling, for those like for myself who have been feeling kind of together or very blissful, very at peace, very united, can all of a sudden get to a state of emptiness, or better yet, nothingness. I'm in nothingness today. I am in no way upset, angered, but I am not in a blissful state either. I am nothing. I know I'm still full of love, but I don't have any emotion right now. I don't, and it's really, really difficult to explain unless you're here. You get to those moments, and even if you don't know that you are actually waking up and you are in these type of moments, it can be confused with being so depressed. Now, if you are still in that negative and dense based mindset and body, then of course you're going to begin to feel those negative thoughts and emotions, because your brain is still thinking too much about, well, why am I feeling this? Nothing right now. I'm feeling nothing, emotionless. That's what it is. It's emotionless, and there's nothing wrong with feeling emotionless, except the person who continuously thinks, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me right now. I don't know what it is. I feel bad. I don't feel good. I don't feel bad. There is something definitely wrong. And I remember myself being in this type of state a long, long time ago. But then my ego would start thinking, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. And then it begins that trigger effect, because what we reap, we sow. This goes with your mind to emotion, your emotion to actions, and even deeper, that everything that we think is going to change the complexity of our bodies. Meaning that every time we have a negative thought and emotion attached to that thought, we are changing our DNA, our bodies, our forms. and becoming more disconnected. So I just wanted to give you that type of understanding right now, that if you are in this type of nothingness, emotionless, it's okay. And if you are at that flip from feeling blah and emotionless or disconnected to feeling more at peace, of course, that's great and beautiful as well. There's no right and wrong. How we each go through this can be different, yet many of us can still have the same experiences. Now let's talk a little bit about Uranus in retrograde in Taurus. That begins, like I mentioned earlier in this video, on August the 19th, which means that we are already feeling this energy. The planet Uranus is about awakening, liberation, change. Okay? This is about huge changes. And for the first few months of this retrograde period, Uranus will be joining Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto, which is making for a very strong lineup of retrograde planetary energy. And anytime that we have a large number of planets in retrograde, it can create a drastic sense of slowing things down. That can make people very uncomfortable. Now, adding that to the fact that it's in the sign of Taurus. I am a Taurian. But I am very, very thankful that I have grown, that I have evolved here to the point that now change I welcome with open arms. But in the past, I was not very flexible at all. Change made me very uncomfortable. And that is, again, now here's the theme. It's going to Uranus, who is wanting change, but is also in retrograde. Uranus is going to take us back to the last 7 months and really ask us to reflect back on the past 7 months of how much we have changed or not changed. Mix that with Taurus, who is very stubborn, low-key, wants to keep things comfortable and easy flowing. There can be that inner type of conflict. So for myself, if I were to go back in the past 7 months, most of my changes, it's been like every couple of months I've had in my life lots of changes. And I've handled them extremely well this go round. Again, it wasn't always the case. This is a practice of learning about yourself and learning to become free-flowing and welcoming in all types of changes around you, being more observant. So I can go back and be grateful that I have transitioned. I have moved with more grace, with more flow. Yeah, there are still areas of my life that I can use better mindset, greater awareness, and more love and compassion towards. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but at least I can go back and reflect and say, oh, I did pretty good. I was open to continuous change. Which means that now as I move forward, it's only going to improve. So that's the type of checkup that you should be doing in your life right now. Looking back, like I just said, the past 7 months, to see how well have you evolved, how well have you allowed change to transform you for the greater good. Don't allow that shock to come in too much. And although, there's really nothing wrong with having a shock. Let me give you an example. It's like when we are exercising. If we are so used to doing the same workout over and over again, it gets dull, it gets boring, and we don't see progress. You have to shock your system by using a different workout, different equipment, whatever it is, in order to change things up and to allow your body to finally see some more better or greater progress. So, seeing a shock in your life throughout this time frame isn't bad. And, change can be a shock. It definitely is a shock. Now that I'm looking back in the past 7 months again, they were definitely surprises. True, like, oh my gosh, are you serious type of surprises, of shock factors that were not trying to harm me, are trying to really stimulate the system. Shock the system, your body, your mind, your heart, into change. That's what this theme is going to be about. Shocking your system into truly changing, truly evolving, truly awakening into something greater. But the good news about this energy, the combination of Uranus and retrograde in Taurus, is that anything that you have been uncertain about within the past several months, or 7 months that is, you can find greater clarity right now, greater clarity and understanding now, because Uranus is going to give you information. It's going to awaken you to a higher perspective. So as we are in Uranus retrograde through Taurus, there's going to be that kind of push and pull between embracing the new things that are coming into your reality, or new consciousness into your own consciousness now, higher states of consciousness, and letting go of the old. Remember, if our reality is trying to change, it means that our consciousness wants to expand. Uranus will be in Taurus until 2026. And Uranus is also square to Saturn for most of 2021, which these themes are surrounded by freedom and boundaries. Remember that it is okay to want to set boundaries. Setting boundaries, especially early on in your awakening process, becomes a necessity. You feel that it is so necessary because you feel for so long you have been suffocating. And this is the natural progression of an awakening process. I did it in the beginning. I was like, you know what? You're too toxic for me. I'm going to step back. But something triggered me on the inside of me. It made me think, if I stay away from an individual, am I really being loved? I really started to think deeper about this. Setting boundaries can also harm you. And this is a choice that you have to make for yourself. Healthy boundaries. You have to teach yourself to grow in love. And that is the only thing that is going to actually assist you in giving you that type of structure. Because and that's the light body. Your light body becomes your boundary setter. Which means that if you are full of love and light, there's no harm Nothing can harm you. That is your boundary setter. It's the shield that actually protects you. But until you are strong enough in your own foundation, I mean, every single time that you are growing and expanding and learning more in love, you are building that foundation to the point that you won't feel the need to push people away because you can't handle it. That's what it's really all about, is that our mind and our hearts are telling us, or our mind is telling us, that we can't handle another individual's toxicity. But you can. And if you get to the mindset that everything that happens outside of you is there to help you see yourself, you will learn that it's all about you. If you see someone else as being toxic and negative, well, it's because there's toxic and negative energies within you. Heal yourself. And it's okay. I'm not saying to not set boundaries. I'm saying to choose love. And if it makes you feel the need to just kind of step away from time, to give yourself some time to think properly and feel properly, and therefore love properly, then by all means, you do what is necessary until you can build on it and learn from your past choices in order to move forward even further in love. So I hope this video helps you in guiding you further towards what is coming. And I'll probably have a little bit more about this, and maybe not. I'm not quite sure. I just felt the need to do this video today. I hope you all have a great one, and I will talk to you guys soon. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.